Good morning. He is risen. He is risen indeed. Amen. I thought I'd do the Easter Sunday morning daily Devo from the church with the beautiful flowers behind me. Even wore a pastel colored shirt to fit in and try not to stand out too much. We're going to be talking in our devotions this week about resurrection appearances. That's, again, we're still using John Stott's book, Through the Bible, Through the Year. And the Lord has risen, says Luke 24:34. And again, we say amen. This is the universal Easter faith, which affirms the objective historical reality of Jesus' resurrection. It is perhaps sufficient to make a threefold confession. Firstly, the tomb was empty, and no adequate alternative to the resurrection has ever explained the disappearance of the body. Secondly, the Lord was seen, and the appearances do not fit what we know of hallucinations. Thirdly, the disciples were changed people. Only the resurrection can account for their transformation from doubt to faith, cowardice to courage, and sorrow to joy. Hope it does all those things for us. This week, we're going to take a fresh look at the 6 major appearances that are recorded in the Gospels. I love how he words this. Their very variety confirms their veracity. I love it. All right, here we go. Mary Magdalene is first up on this Easter Sunday. It's April the 4th. Yes, it is. April the 4th. The suggested reading is actually just before our passage that we use for the Sunday morning service. John 20, verses 10 through 18. Verses 15 and 17 are quoted here. Woman, Jesus said, why are you crying? And Jesus said, do not hold on to me. It is a marvelous providence of God that the first person to whom the risen Lord revealed himself was a woman, and that a woman was also the first person he commissioned to proclaim the gospel of the resurrection to others. Is this not a deliberate affirmation of womanhood at a time when women were not regarded as reliable witnesses? This privileged woman was Mary Magdalene. The Gospels do not tell us much about her, but we do know that she stayed by the cross to the bitter end, and that she followed the funeral cortege to the garden and saw Jesus buried. Some 36 hours later, she and other women returned and found the tomb opened and the body gone. She ran back to alert Peter and John. They raced to the tomb, and she followed them at a more leisurely pace. By the time she arrived, they had gone, and she was alone. John paints 2 dramatic little cameos. In the first, Mary was weeping, especially because she thought she had lost the only man who had ever treated her with dignity, love, and respect. The light had gone out of her life, but Jesus had not left her, as she thought. On the contrary, he was there at her side, risen, but she did not know it. In the second cameo, Mary was clinging to him, and Jesus said to her, do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended. Verse 17 of our passage. Many people ask why Jesus should have invited the apostles to handle him while forbidding Mary to hold on to him. The answer is that holding and handling are different actions. The apostles were invited to handle him in order to verify that he was not a ghost. The reason Mary was forbidden to hold on to him was that her gesture symbolized the wrong kind of relationship. The best translation would perhaps be, stop clinging on to me. She had to learn that she could not resume the old familiar friendship she had previously enjoyed. Once he had ascended, a new relationship would become possible. As we picture Mary weeping and Mary clinging, we see the contrasting mistakes she has made. She wept because she thought she had lost him altogether. She clung to him because she thought she had got him back, just as he had been to her before. Interesting points that John Stott makes, some I've not heard before, thought through. Why does he tell Mary Magdalene to stop clinging to him? I never really understood that or pursued that. Very thankful for John Stott's very wise insights into the scriptures as we go through them, like we're doing since the first of the year. We've been doing this together and plan to continue to do that together until at least until we're through this COVID time and people feel confident enough to come back and gather ourselves together. Jesus is risen. The interactions the various people around him have with him tell us, I think, reveal to us a lot of things about ourselves. Just rejoice in it today. Rejoice in the reality that Jesus is risen. It is a miracle. There is no other, as John Stott said, there is no other viable option. All the evidence says that it is true. Oh, rejoice in it today and share the good news with others. Maybe as you gather with family or friends today, I don't know what your plans are, but share the good news and mean it. Amen. He is risen from the dead, and he has given us new life. Amen.